Hello guys, welcome to another edition of the Mercury FPL Trophy TV show. This is the international break. This means the managers they will get a stress-free week from FPL, but it also means the manager then get time for planning, strategize on how to improve their team, how to dominate their leagues there, and how to improve their rank. Today we're there for talk about the season so far, but more with a focus on game weeks 9 to 16. And me now, host Andre, and they with two FPL experts and go introduce themselves.
My name Aki. I'm a FPL lover and also an FPL analyst.
Me John, because it will always be exciting moments for me for the talk FPL football.
So interesting start of the season so far. 8 game weeks, even though not 7 games they don't play so far, because I think there was a blank in game week 7 because obviously the Queen died. So it's been a season where like players then they don't get a slow start. Some players then don't really impress people and they don't perform so well. We don't see price then, they don't rise dramatically. We don't get shocking price drops as well from some FPL assets there. And so guys, let's get an overview of the season, game week 1 to 8. How the season so far?
I'll say bittersweet season per se, because they left you something and they great decision where you don't make a scene for pick some players, then may left out some players them. Because no matter what thing happen, the one catchy thing about everything is every player available to you. And you just get to make decision for left out some players them. So imagine if you don't think twice between 2 players for select one and you do up the other one. Then you see okay, the best decision for don't do good at the up now for don't take. So I just think say some of the things that this night until inside the game will make like the game really fun.
Yeah.
And if you come to the signings them, I think so we all go be impressed with Haaland because of at this moment I get the highest points for all the other players them. And with some few signings there like from Isaac, because they come inside and they see then they play and they get some points there.
This season I would say too bad, but again not too fine for me. Because of course I don't get some of the judgments wrong, like as Aki say, the judgment for bringing players and for ship out players. Then of course I just will discuss before the program too when I say like I make a wrong judgment for ship outs Tony the way he score hat-trick. But again I will lead for car with Alan because I not start with Alan when the season starts, So like we know that kind of manager will always be don't depend on Salah.
Salah people are obviously improving assets, so I think it don't get like a very slow start this season because it starts well, right? Game week 1.
Yeah.
Now obviously woman captain he give it on, but it don't get a slow start to the season. So other than some players that we don't impress me and disappoint me this season so far.
I think it's Trippier don't impress. Pope, then defense in general, Manchester Newcastle defense. It's Alan, obviously, KDB, Cancelo 110, but I think the one that we're not actually impressed, we get for be like the Liverpool assets then, basically. And I think the way most people then say, okay, I for ship out Salah because we not go rely heavily upon you. Then at the end of the day, you know, for make points, then kind game then they.
Disappointing forgets expensive players in the team. We not the give returns. Of course, Trent not the give returns. Liverpool they concede goals, not only 1, 2 goals and 3 goals in per match. So like a very disappointing for make you get 7.5 million player for making not the proof and for you. So like them player and of course Mitrovic now the strike force of course don't they do well. Of course Ivan Toney, of course I fine striker and of course I don't say in the introduction I also say like I been getting the week way I ship them out and also like of course we get Arsenal assets also where they do very well of course Jesus and of course we see Saka don't pick up. Saka then of course this defender where they belong from. We then belong to Marcel, we don't come in again.
Saliba,
of course, they do well. So like, it don't give we managers a difficult time for come with, for know which players they for come with, of course. Now we get for the WT budget. If you don't play your wild card, of course, and also you get for which day, it get for be very, very difficult for you for take hits and try for see what you go do. Because now, like the way the season starts, last season to now, it looks somehow different. Last season, managers then pick up quick compared to this season, you know. So like, it get for be very, very difficult for me. And of course, we go use this international break and see which player for coming, and we know which player we get for be loyal. So of course, Salah. I don't know if managers can get for be loyal to that. I don't know. So like, let me see how things they unfold.
Okay, so as we don't talk about these impressive players, they will not say the prices they all don't rise. Like Haaland, so it don't rise on over 0.5 or 0.5. Martinelli as well from Arsenal, safe price don't rise by 0.5. Even Saliba safe, I think by 0.4, I think it's 4.9.
Mitrovic also.
Mitrovic, Dreamed, Ivan Toney, the all price don't rise. And then players they will say disappoint me. Of course, in price they don't drop. Kinds they like Robertson. Robertson is almost now the same as Van Dijk. Yes.
Even Salah.
Salah self in price self don't drop. And Son, obviously Son, I think he get a slow start, but last game week we know it happened. He not even start, but we calm. I think he play like for 30 minutes, but give managers massive returns, a whole get a hat-trick and all like that. The inside price been dropped, but I should say sometimes if we continue this way in price, go rise. So, una get any concerns about this international break? Because we don't hear lots of injuries there. So, like we find players like Isak, Akina, Isak.
Big
fan exactly.
But the thing
so
is,
we get injury and all. So how you want to navigate through
based
and
on the injury, I think say it's precautionary. That's why they just hit on them back.
Okay.
It's not much like something they don't do in time. Say okay, they did for 6 weeks or so. But I think say this now one of the threats and this where we always deal with where they come in with Isak. The fact that it's not injury per se, the rotation threat. So at this point in time, if they don't see and like I say an injury, there's all possibility to say if Wilson well, we'll see what the stats before. But like we say no more, the game now he can play 20 minutes and make points.
Like with
his son do exactly.
Me now one fan way not to like international break because most times players they will rely on they go get injury. And again we forget to talk about this player we just don't pick up before when Rashford. Rashford, of course, against Arsenal, I think he's 17 points or so. So like, and again, he don't get injury, and most managers we don't try for Kamita in. So like, injury is not the way they just distract FPL managers their attention way. How for setting up a team again. Now Isak they try for pick up before. The last game week, of course, I see plenty managers in Kamita, and of course he get returns. I think he gets a 9 points if he be captain, and so like you know which kind of returns he will give. So like. Injury not something where it can really affect managers the way players where you feel say rely on they get injury. Look Robertson where they come, they get assists, they on set piece, you know, don't get injury, don't like a money they up small of course. But when they get injury, you plan as managers they be distracted and see what you do. But
I think the name make the name of manager.
Of course you see. Now we see the pressure way the
manager themselves they
because one great injury they affect your game plan. So like you therefore take a time and think and see because the last time I've been dedicating me like 3 hours and I try for look my team and try for observe top managers how their team set up and see how myself will set up my team. Now of course that just relay this one to you. I observe your team and manage so like, I know like because my targets now for try for catch up with now then and see what thing I go do. And they are not into I can just look in the team for some time and see what thing go do. And of course where I pay attention to your team. Ask Mario, you know the cause where that's gonna
be. So as John don't say, where these injuries then they during international break, Nami Cookie advise managers enough to make early transfer because when you make early transfer, if you don't use you want free transfer, that means you get for take hit for bringing other players then for replace that person. So we can advise managers and say save that transfer, watch the situation after like games they don't play, you assess now who that you want to bring, you see who that fit, who that not fit, then you can make you transfer. Okay, this game week now where they comes on game week 9, lots of managers and activities in wildcard, including me. By the way, una laugh, I know say una don't use una own wild card. But it's actually good for I get this opportunity now, make as much changes as I want. They observe, would I get injury one be don't bring in like Isaac now they watch and no say by Friday if I not see any like positive hear anything positive, but I no say I go ship him out and bring somebody car inside. So what it gonna be like a must have for a wild card draft for managers there? Must have players there.
Yeah, if I can say must have. Now, it will be very difficult again because you know they play 4 strikers, not 3 strikers.
Yeah.
And of course, you get Mitrovic they own, of course, Alan they own, Isaac they own, Ivan
Tony
they
they
own.
yeah.
You know, so like it get for be very difficult and you get for.
But that one day now, you know, say
now,
Haaland
yeah,
for be
must
fixed.
have.
Yes.
Haaland I must have. Just like we previous seasons,
Salah
must have. You know, like Alan I must have now the strike force, of course. Isaac, because Isaac now I observe say they on penalties.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like if they on penalties and Newcastle gets them kind fierce and strike and fast players way they play up front and even at the midfield. So like the tendency for letting they get penalty because they observe even Trippier. See if they overlap, they can cause the last penalty is I think I caused that penalty and then the assist, of course. Alan I must have. Isaac, if not so injury, if you do on wild card I must have. And because you get for gamble now between these 3 strikers, Gabriel Jesus, Mitrovic and Ivan Tony.
Yeah.
Pick one for match then 3 strikers and then of course KDB. We always say Kevin De Bruyne that kind of player way if he not score the assist.
Yeah.
You know, so like I must have again. Of course, it go very difficult for managers to get Kevin De Bruyne and Salah because of the price.
Yeah.
You know, so like it get for be very difficult.
So
of course, we get
have.
Well,
between KDB and Salah.
well for now.
What about Son though?
Yeah, well, again, Son and money save the up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like it get for be very difficult. But for now, the form. I rely on I must have I need to forget KDB in the team. And of course Mark Allister, and of course he's every day on penalties, he's every day on set piece, and that kind of play away he's can give it on to managers. So like maybe say I don't know how to put some, but you know like a differential again a differential you know go because also all managers go rely on them kind of players and they, you know. So like of course Trippier na the defense, Cancelo na the defense, and of course Manchester defense already they do well. Then you get this Malaysia and Dalot way themselves they come up front and themselves gets the tendency for letting the give returns they get for great because Manchester now they keep clean sheet and see. So like Aki go say this.
Okay, so my own view mostly like most times similar to you, but I think say the south side this get for be a little bit for make some players the way that you must have not be must have. It has to do with the fixtures.
Yeah.
Fixtures.
So funnily, I think some of the teams that we made a target right now for getting a team, one get for be Fulham. So pair and Mitrovic if I look at Fulham. Yeah. Then also Crystal Palace. Because in the next 7 games or 6 game weeks now only one big team they get just Chelsea. So that means they get points potential. So even the goalkeeper, for me I think say now must have because goalkeeper you can score any goalkeeper. So you just take the chance and check let me just have one.
Yeah.
Then another thing why back Zaha.
Yeah.
Zaha the girl like one kind end up being best season in the Premier League. So I think Zaha can be another must have. Then also even with Leicester City, they're not good, but one thing I see about Leicester, not so like now one of them they beat any struggle for scores. Then they score, but then they lost.
Yeah.
So I think say Madis, you know, in attacking option now another must have. Just depends to how you team they. Then also Solanke, na Bournemouth.
Wow.
So I don't begin see Bournemouth from where they change Parker, they don't get that defensive setup. So which means now they're not conceive that much and defend for create for them strikers.
Yeah.
And because of in price, so like for somebody who wants for use the strategy as in I want to get 3 attackers. By the end of it, I want to rely heavily on having like Son, De Bruyne, and I'm a midfield. We go make sure say the funds are tight. Then Solanke a more better option than you get Isak because Isak kind of injury doubt.
Yeah.
And also the threat for say they go rotate. So then it can be another one. And I think say even Bowen. The reason why they say Bowen is because with West Ham the next 5 fixtures now only Liverpool and get win are actually big team. So if you ever forget that way, the way you get one player we can make points from their own team, then that's it. Then this it go help me for saying, but I think say Liverpool assets them, you can get two, like as in Trent and Salah. They can be must have because of them fixtures them. And I think say it's a make or break for Salah. Because I think so we can separate the good managers them from the one that would actually win. It's not because of maybe you know say okay this person can make the point now because of you able for resist the temptation and say even though I know say they make points, let me go against and see if I can win.
Yeah.
So I think say it's high time people we want for big good managers consider Salah and Trent because their fixtures them really good. And at this point in time, the only people in Liverpool, if Liverpool it's on a season around, we get for make that team they week in week out for be Salah and Trent. I know they see the as for play that much because Jota fit, Firmino fit, and also Nunes fit. So they get for different way for create space.
Yeah.
So I think say even Newcastle and fixtures really good. So Trippier from Newcastle. Even Fabian Schär, because I think if Fabian Schär, you know the rotator.
But yet why
they go rotate Born and that a new defender. I don't remember my name.
Botman, yeah.
But like not go rotate Fabian Schär. So you can get Trippier then if Alan Saint Maxima you can get him because I think say the reason why Newcastle is cut that much is because they're not get a post to take all the attention of the other strikers.
Yeah.
So that's more like the must haves there for me at this moment.
Okay. So what I feel have you say managers them for just avoid not forgetting that then team totally if then they on a wild card there.
That they get for be hard, but I think say one advice for making is with the Arsenal asset, the one that we are actually expensive, avoid them. Yeah. Like let's just say Gabriel Jesus, Saka, because of them price, they make you avoid them. They're really good, but imagine if you get Tottenham, Liverpool, the next two games. And when you come off wild card, you'd actually want to make a difference at that point in time.
Yeah.
So if there's a way you can save funds and get them back after this next two games, fine. Because I think say if we get for look by the last 8 game weeks, you know say once it comes to Arsenal playing big teams, then they always come short.
Yeah.
As of now, we don't know what's going to
happen
in the next 2 games.
Yeah.
So I think so that's one. And secondly, I think so another people that we need for avoid is placing too much premiums on Man City. And I'll say this, the reason why they say so is because if we look forward, when it comes to game week 12, Man City, they blank. They're not getting no fixtures. Same with Arsenal. So that they may easily make a list for Arsenal. And also, Champions League and Europa don't come in the October stretch. We try for one for meet-up World Cup.
Yeah.
So that means rotation get for the day, game in, game out. So that's why you see most of the people that me they say most have now possibly say even if they play Europa, then go able to rest because of the opponents they wouldn't get not that tough.
Yeah.
But Man City now go rest KDB and Haaland when they get Champions League match for qualify against Dortmund. That's more like it.
Okay. So there's this big debate now about like the best goalkeepers there. So who down I go feel say for like game week 9 to game week 16 managers there on the goalkeeper they go the two
for building a wild card.
the two goalkeepers them and obviously it will be somebody where they bring points and somebody way cheap. So I should say the cheap one will be Ward. It's like Ward or Iverson everything goal. Or now the one now with the nailed on goalkeeper now we feel say go give managers the most returns.
Win more with Mercury International. Up to 6 draws per day are now available. How exciting is this? You can play Lotto all day. From Monday to Saturday. 1 draw every 2 hours. From 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. And on Sunday, 1 draw every hour and a half. From 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Check out all draw results broadcast live on FTN Channel 35. Pick your draw, your game, and be the next winner. Win big money every day with Mercury International. Plus 18 years old. Please gamble responsibly.
So because of I listed a lot about fantasy. One thing I learn when it comes to goalkeeper, it's not more about whether he thinks they make clean sheet. It's more about whether he thinks they make saves. Because with whether he thinks they make save, you are sure to forget a point or two. But with clean sheets, one game mistake, not from the goalkeeper, as in the defender can make you lose that clean sheet. I can remember Arsenal against Fulham. Gabriel in mistake
yeah.
Ramsdale
That's
the one
not
who sends
considered.
goals. So I think, say, for me, looking at Crystal Palace and fixture, I'll go with Crystal Palace then goalkeeper Gaita Bar and Gaita then with Ward or Iverson. That you want free up cash. But the reason why I go nice for go with Ward is because of, say Ward they start.
Yeah.
So if you think, say, Gaita get big game that you want for, just take the X, because the possibility of Ward keeping the clean sheet now like 0.1%. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
So that are the two options then for me on side.
Okay, so when I think say manager them still for continue for go big at the back, or now where the first 8 games we don't see how things go. Let them like not go big at the back and spread the funds maybe at the midfield or the forward.
Yeah, of course. Now that I don't see plenty managers don't they budget wise don't they take defenders away. Then get a lesser price, try for invest on the strike and the midfield. Because I see many managers not get Trent again, and not get Robertson, of course.
Yeah.
A few get Cancelo, but they give it on. So then again, it's too bad for make you invest in the defense. Then their defense they concede goals. For instance, Liverpool, as we know they say earlier on, Liverpool they concede goals. Then you get expensive players, and where you get other players, the way at least. You just get in your team. If they get returns, then it's fine. But you get players the way you hope to win, and you strike and you midfield way. You get for invest on that. Well, budget wise, I feel say go less on your defense and try for invest on you midfield and you strike.
I don't know if how we see this as big at the back. Is it big at the back as starting 5 defenders or big?
No, I mean big at the back on front. I saying like because Trent, Cancelo, James.
I know because why they say so. I just look at this here. Let's say we get defense get James, Perisic, Cancelo, Trent, then Trippier. 5. For me, I think that's not actually big at the back. Because also basically defender premiums that you get. But I think say that also another way where you also manage your funds and also get other players then, because why they say so, with them defenders then they were called. Apart from Perisic, where so okay might be rotation is pass or that gets the all the other fours in the stats, and there's a possibility then the whole.
And mostly on set piece and
so now make like now how they look at the game is it's more about what you believe in and what you think it might work. Because you get for fan analogy where you support.
So if we let me say game week 12 now, either you go sell, either you go keep, now your team. So when I Arsenal City.
So one funny strategy is where you play this game, more especially people that were on a wild card, is have placeholders. That's why I get KDB in my team. KDB na the placeholder for Salah. Whenever one Salah, KDB just get for left. We cannot get all of my team together. So in this aspect is if you go with KDB, just know say that's where KDB na they play get for shift a little bit to Salah for recover.
Yeah.
If you that believe KDB, then after that game week they can transfer in back KDB. But outside the problem can come now is if you get rid of Salah, then you go with Zaha and Bowen. So it means you just get for take hit because of you not get that same person where they actually replace them with just a little bit of funds added. So for the players then what things so you go hold. One thing about Gabriel Jesus, it impacts na Arsenal in mighty we know. But the thing is it's not more about impact for we. It's more about the points
returns.
So I think say if you want to forget an Arsenal asset based on the funds, let me just say 6.5 for Martinelli, we will say there is all possibility. So he say he go get chance for make points when are almost the same as Gabriel Jesus. Then keep Martinelli because of in price. And the problem is, other get Martinelli right now maybe not 6 million number or 6.1.
Yeah.
If you sell them because of that large growth, I would say the Carlos close to 0.5.
Yeah.
So I think say Martinelli now one for keep. If you get Saliba now another person for keep because they are not expensive. They go do without them for that one game week.
Yeah.
With the Man City asset, problem with Alan is when you sell Alan, how forget him back. Because Alan almost they chase the De Bruyne as them price or maybe the
11 points.
He's 12 now.
He's 12. Yeah. So that's the issue. So if you get for bench Alan, Saliba or Jesus, like I just say, and I'm say the other people they get for Fenway, get
them out.
But that's why it's more like even if you get placeholders, always see a possible option to a player. Like if you get Trent at 7.5, just always see Cancelo as an option to Trent.
Yeah.
Like a downgrading option. So whenever you think so, you need to use wildcard or something, you get Usai they go. But make sure say the downgrading option be from another team where like that same player, so like if something happen, you get where I did think how we things per se.
Going forward, game week 12 will be very difficult because considering the form way City Day and Arsenal, so like City already try to chase Arsenal, then most managers get then ask them players and the way they perform, as you say, of course the KDB and Gabriel Jesus, of course Martinelli, all them play Saliba, and of course even the Arsenal goalkeeper. So like again for be Ramsdale, again for be very difficult going to game week 12 for just ship out them players and see how you will manage your team. Now you do on wild card, therefore be very technical for me. Exactly. So like you dey plan ahead, forget the players them, because game week 12 where you get for be blank, it therefore be very difficult for manager. So like it get for look to your capability, how you think and how you feel see get for plan going forward for game week 12.
And so that's the thing about FPL, you get for plan. When you not plan well,
you do transfer for this game week.
Yes, and when you not plan well, you end up lose lots of points by taking hits. And when they take hits, the one way they plan well, they rise in ranking, they go down in rank. So like managers then for be careful if they're on a wild card draft, how for plan for get in mind game week 12 day. You get players then when Arsenal and City players. If you don't get 6 players, then you get for Fenway now where they plan. Now game week 9 they can between game week 9 to that game week 12. They how you they maneuver your team. So where game week 12 actually they take Boku hits.
You already get 3 assets from City. Then of course the least you can get from Arsenal presently like let's say 2.
2, yeah.
Because you afford forget one defender and of course Martinelli must have. Gabriel Jesus, because of his price and he gets other strikers they perform likewise like
and they give the same points.
Yes, exactly. Like what Aki say, now you can afford for let's go Trent, then you get Cancelo. Because almost then they do the same thing and carry other defenders the way you feel say they give returns. So but a very difficult for plan ahead to game week 12. Because let's say you bench not 3 players for the night bench, and again budget wise you get forget one left out player we always get for the night you bench we not they play. So for cover up for that player they you get for very very difficult and highly technical. Lucky you do on wild card.
If I be get wild card, I need to worry about game week 12.
Okay.
Why?
Because in my mind right now only 3 players that I think say then they get for affect, and that's Martinelli, Cancelo,
and Haaland.
So then 3 players and they can go on a bench and I got that people will actually make points for them.
So you ship out KDB and come with Salah.
I'm not saying get KDB.
No, I get KDB at the moment.
Okay.
I'm just saying if I get wildcard in a different ball game.
Okay.
Because if I get wildcard at this point in time, I need to go for KDB. I'd rather go for Salah. And the reason is because of the rotation with KDB. The fact that Bernardo Silva they only get good season right now. Gundogan they only get Ori. There's no possibility to say Pep get for one day you just grab no Messi, you wait.
So then forget that kind of player they expensive then they not bench.
So that's the thing.
Yeah. So if you get wildcard presently, you do afford for user now like Andrea they do.
Sure. My initial plan now for be use wildcard game week 9.
9, yeah.
Okay.
What made the thing change is if I be say I implement wait now for implement the last game, I don't take -8. And I did against hits because points where you don't work for just give so carelessly. It doesn't matter, to be honest. That's the main problem. And the difference between my wildcard team that last week and this week, and I just like 2 players them. And that's the difference now Bowen and Zaha, then with the defense way like maybe Patterson and Nico Williams. So then that's something I will afford going forward.
Okay.
And again this Patterson, of course I see Aston Villa them midfield Everton the midfield don't look they set up small.
They pick up.
This former player we them this player we them sell PSG we don't come again. Of course as he say like a look don't come steady the midfield and then Onana again as he say Onana and the player there of course they Ghana. Then I feel say like they look the gel very well and you can even afford forget that kind budget wise gets a Patterson in your defense and you see what you go do for you.
One
But
thing
anyway.
anyway, I don't talk to them, we don't work, and I don't actually go with them. And one, it was with Rashford. When you season they go bad, then
Yeah.
you can say, okay, you might make a. Remember, now the last time that show we get the Monday game week, and I be the see Rashford for make points or so, but I still sell them because of I not want to play by waiting I feel, now more than waiting at the see.
yeah.
It happens. Son,
Oh,
it
yes.
happened last week. If
Sure.
even then I'm wild
Wild
card,
card,
I
yeah.
change them because of I want for plan going forward.
Forward,
And at the end of the day, look what you do. So I don't get another thing they say. It's either I lost by waiting I believe in, or I just play how I want for play and get the fun one in for game.
And as you say, that they affects managers themselves mostly. Where they work with your mind.
Yeah, they go with the crowd.
Crowd. But again, myself, they don't prove me wrong. What's in my mind, they tell me, and they don't decide to play this. Then what's in my mind, they tell me, I know they do, and then I decide for follow the crowd and see.
So now I'm more of percentage, 70-30.
70.
Like I'll go with waiting I think say really right, 70%, 30% I just play with my mind. I think Zidane will make the difference for like ranking and maybe then private leagues then per se.
Okay, so between game week 9 to 16, una feels any managers then for use any chip if they're not use any yet?
If it depends on the team who you get. If you feel say the team who you get currently gets you think say the annual points, and not feel say you get for you think but for use the chip because chip very important.
Yeah.
I mean that kind of possible, they rush for use me chip then. So like I can just wait till the second part of the season and try for see how they utilize the chip then.
The only chip we may get for use this part of the season, I don't use and
New wild card.
the next one I just need to put on manager. No matter anything happens. Actually, nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, I think so if managers then they not use their wild card, then can use and for this game week 9, or if then team they feel then team okay, then can save on for maybe game week 12. But again, free hit, bench boost, no, I prefer for using like the second half of the season. That's an make I use then cheap then they. But again, like I say, depending on the team structure, now you go watch your team and know if your team they struggle or not. Now you go know. Now you go know if you want, like if you want to take hits, if you worth it or not. So now you go for assess your team and know. But right now, if you not use the wild card yet, you can use them. This game week 9 or game week 12, or you left your team so and just the plan ahead. You just plan because FPL are planning.
Short one, yeah. Because you trust your team for this game week, they make you get 2 transfers.
Yes.
Right? Because you trust your team for this game week, they make you get 2 transfers. So if you feel say you trust your team, I feel say you get for be patient and see within you get going for that game week 10 or so.
For going forward.
Yeah.
Okay, so guys, between 9 to 16, you not get any captaincy choices. Is it nailed on Haaland or not get for the rotator, depending on the games there?
I think say before World Cup, there are certain people where it's either then give me cap or I give them cap. So I think say one way that it can happen if I not nail on Haaland. So I want to see how Salah go play in the next 3 game weeks where you get 2 big games and 1 small game. Then also I want for begin to go small on the captaincy. Now rigs, but I think it can pay at times.
Yeah.
Because the reason why I can say so, there were times last season Dennis make some people actually claim up the ranks. Then it just like I carry that logic about one waiting to make you get 2 transfers because of trust. It's almost the same thing. If I get player where everybody the captain in points where they lost, not just the time the multiplication factor where they lost. But if I will get other player now where you not getting a team and all and it be me captain, so it's like you lost 2 times, whilst me just they lost 1 game one time. So that's more like their logic than the per se.
I didn't want head-to-head league where I play. Of course, the possible we made into the play for this game week 8. In captain Alan, of course, me get Alan, then you not get KDB, then me captain
KDB. So you
see
win.
how you do. So in at times 2 and in at times 1.
Times 1, yeah. So I just lost the double points where you get as captain again. So like as captain again, they say could you imagine he gets managers with triple captain son?
Yeah.
Then he starts.
Yeah.
You know how disappointing
that would.
Then when he come in, he can give a trick. Then
imagine
he can even make points.
Football follower.
Exactly. So you see, Narix anyway, but if that one the answer you will get for climb up and see like what you say Dennis give some managers and points and see what in it.
I think between game week 9 to 16, the captaincy option get for rotate. Obviously, between Haaland, obviously, Kane. Harry Kane have don't really do well this season. You know that August Smith when they can say, you know, they score in August. You don't scrap that, you don't pull people in wrong. Harry Kane self, KDB might be depending on the fixture though. Again, we don't know because you know see now City this rotation. You don't know how Pep wake one morning. But yeah, so I think between 9 to 16, it's not nailed on one person. We know say you get for B. Haaland, you get for B Kane, might be Salah. I never thought say in a season Salah will be differential, you know, because lots of people don't ship him out. So imagine now Salah can haul, he be you captain, and people are not getting like how una they say no more.
Working proud. But I don't know how una say they look at this. Pep na that kind of manager we all know to trust for using players. Now he gets Alan. Alan he banging the goals.
I think you are easy to make Haaland not go.
Okay.
No World Cup.
Yes.
So all that period in arrest.
Arrest for him, yes.
Basically, that's the main thing. So then KDB they get for the management because of World Cup. But Haaland in participation for World Cup, not possible. So.
Okay.
I think no we not go World Cup, right?
Nah.
Yeah, so.
Okay, before we round up, would that go be a differential there between game week 9 to 16? We managers then for consider for bringing.
So I think say the person where you actually not too sure about na differential for me, Bowen. Bowen, Madison, I think that's for me. But another person who I look at this as a differential, where like na funds they make cannot really go for it na Gordon.
Okay.
Na Everton. And the reason why they say so, if anything they come out good out of Everton in the past 9 years, like as of now, that's one thing I don't see. Zaha, I don't know in percentage, but can be a differential pick if most people are not.
No get yeah.
But again, Aki, if you think about differential, it just depends on how the game week they go. Because now you know we just stick on one player, say this night differential going to game week 16. Because you don't know how them players they get for they perform. And
that's true.
And subsequently how they perform now, so we carry them. So what in the case you they consider that player for be differential, then most managers didn't get them. So but again, like what you say, most then differential players they players they way they not then small teams them and most managers don't get because we particularly when they play in Barcelona, so we rely on them big players them in teams then so like you get for consider them they get because you don't know if this player like Gordon way he talk so maybe game with 10, 11, maybe not they perform, maybe like if he gets everything but for ship him out and come with other player if he say they perform.
I just give a practical example here. If you take out of Premier League, let's look at Dembele. There was a point in they play well because the manager trusts them. Now one of the stars in the team. If you come back to fantasy, it's the same. And I mean say because I receive for be differential. Be differential for me it's based on ownership. But like if you not make point in the next 2 game weeks, once you not cost that much. For me, you will still be one of me differential because I just take and say you can play big team and you make the point. So I can always look at my team as something while it think around with. There are 7 players them will like or 8 one who's there for follow the trends. 3 or 4 more they were it's not more like trend now more like the one the way they make a difference. So that's why it's then 3 or 4 players then they plus make captaincy option and they call the difference. The other one are more likely trend.
Yeah.
Or just make sure say the average and the above.
And I think post you mentioned Solanke can be a differential.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Because we don't say Bournemouth now, then Sef don't begin the pick up and then Sef they score goals. So I think Solanke can be a good
but it's difficult and for make you get Ivan Toney, Alan, Jesus, Isaac, then of course he gets Solanke.
One must go. That's not only make you manager. And for me, if not from 9 to 16, based on the one the way like you make them bookmakers then per se, like Bournemouth having the best fixtures.
Sure, then,
So that's why I actually consider
Solanke
differential because I'll tell you this, you can play with your formation. If you get 2 strikers on top and you get very good midfielders the way they play as forward, then Solanke can then a bench when you know to a standard game week or things so that person get better fixtures than them. When then they play big team, then you count them back. Because all waiting this day about is more like how we go reduce the hits them we will take. How we go reduce the way we like players in the way you believe in, they make point and you know get part of it. Because when you do transfer then game in, game out, then you see say player that you don't believe just because of you not play well this game week, you sell them out and when he ready for make the point, you know get them. So that's why Sonny you don't feel that much because of I don't ever get her. But like Rashford, you know, I will feel that
because you get her, you ship them out.
I remember that after that Monday program, Mario they say we sell Rashford and they say camp 9 place.
And I wanna it was funny.
And he scored against Liverpool and of course against Arsenal again.
And since then Rashford to know that team.
Yes.
He price even rise. And all. So any last words for manager, tips or advice for game week 9 to 16?
So I think say the one tip we made left it's more about the percentage. 30%, play with 30% with you believe in. Play with 70% with you think say the and they go with. Because if you want to make any difference, you just get for left to with you believe in. Any decision you make which you believe in. Now look at like I say, not only win. What's in that game, you just get for loss something in it. So just go with anything you think can work well for you.
Yeah. And of course, we safe one for me experience one of the year previously. So the season then start of the season again. I believe say you get for work with your mind. You know, what your mind tell you, play what your mind tell you, then see which returns the players then will give. You know, going further, if you get a hit, of course, if you say a team that's bad, use play you cheap and see waiting returns where the cheap will give you. So if then you're not John, of course, you don't get a nice one. So for me to make it.
Okay, so I guess wait for say now my advice to managers then are for plan well.
Okay.
Plan, watch the fixtures, then not just plan for one game week. So for example, game week 9 they can not just only focus on game week 9 because you get game week 9 to 16 before it maybe get you order wild card. So plan your team well, avoid for take lots of hits as possible. However, take lots of hits. And lastly, as we don't say, not follow the crowd. Go with your mind and just have fun with the game and enjoy. I think last week I want to say, guys, don't forget to follow the social media handles. Stay on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Mercury Trophy SL. Even this, we Mercury YouTube page, follow and subscribe, and all of that. So anytime we get new content, new posts and flyers, even manager of the month announcements and in-play prizes, basically, una go be the first for see and no more than they. Aki, say you bye-bye.
From Alona, thank you for listening to me and get patient for this long. Aki, and we will meet another time.
Okay, guys, and so we wrap up the show. Join me next for we third edition will be soon. Mina, Andrea, take care.